run a guy down at him out of a double team, and you get AC Green on the offensive board.
They have no set plays that they run for Cedric Sabalas. It's all ad-lib when they get the double team. He just opens himself up along that baseline.
Run the lane and then curl and sneak around on that baseline. You got KJ Hofania and Barkley out of double teams.
Phoenix up by 1. Out of bounds. Last touch by Weber. Under 4 minutes left now in the half. Avery Johnson back in. Replacing Billy Owens. Owens sitting down with 8 points, 3 fouls. Sprewell short, Sabalas the rebound.
See, Sprewell's got to be careful right here not to get a foul, a 4th foul on KJ, or run it through the screens. That's the 4th foul. That was 4. A frustration play.
That is 4 on Sprewell.
And that's what I'm talking about. That's where youth comes in. He lost his cool in Phoenix the other day. Got a technical foul in a critical part of game 2. So now Sprewell with 4 fouls. That is a serious problem.
15 fouls.
So he's going to have to come out now. And Keith Jennings at just 5'7" will check in.
That's where you've got to back off a little bit. He missed a layup and he was frustrated. He's chasing KJ. And then Barkley's going to step up and set a screen. Smart play by Charles. You see Sprewell's going so quickly and he just lowers his shoulder and runs right through him. That's a good call. And Charles upset. Charles has to be careful now. He already has 1 technical. This is how Ewing got thrown out the other night. Remember, Mike Mathis was on that ball game.
Barkley already with 32 points tonight. He's 3 out of 4 from the free throw line.
What do you think, Pete? What do you think about this early pace? Who does it favor? I mean, with 4 fouls now on Sprewell, Owens with 3.
I think it's a little bit troubling for Golden State to have the foul trouble that they're in right now at this stage of the game.
I agree with you. I mean, 65 points for Phoenix.
And you can play this racehorse game all night, but if you run out of players to play it in that 4th quarter.
And the one thing about Phoenix, you know, they have an arrogance about them, like we can outscore anybody in the league. So if you want to keep coming, we'll match you point for point.
Don Nelson, a guy that tries to make matchup adjustments defensively a lot of the time. Paul Westphal just the opposite. He'll try to make the matchup adjustments offensively.
See, and KJ's been very quiet still. You're waiting for him to explode, but with Barkley going the way he is, just keep going to him. Jeff Grayer can't handle him. Now they're going to post Marley against Avery Johnson. So you just keep going. Where's your poison?
That's right. 8 points for Marley. 68-65, Phoenix by 3, 3:10 to go in the half.
So you got 2 little guards in there, Jennings and Avery Johnson. So one of them's got to guard a much bigger player.
Now to 7 on the shot clock. Avery Johnson into the paint. Stripped by Marley over to Kevin Johnson. Phoenix on the run down to Sabalas. He is one of the best in the league at getting himself free in transition. 10 points for Sabalas. Biggest lead of the night for Phoenix. 70-65. Timeout. 2:47 left in a wild first half.
A 20-second timeout.
As we roll this forward, when the double team goes, he cuts to the basket. All right, now just keep your eye on him. Here comes another double team right here. So he's going to come to the open area. He's going to miss the shot, but no one now to block out AC Green, who gets the tip in. So that's why Sabalas snakes along that baseline, and it's a great finisher, and it's a very important part. Remember, he was out of the finals last year against Chicago with the broken foot. They really missed him.
Frank Johnson is back in the game, replacing Kevin Johnson for Phoenix. 2:44 remaining. 70-65 Phoenix. Keith Jennings was on the line. That would have been 2 if it went, but it didn't. Sabalas the rebound.
Very important 2.5 minutes. And I know I say that a lot during the playoffs, but I always feel like the last 3 minutes of a half can really dictate what's going to happen to you. Right now, this is sort of slipping away from Golden State, although they're only down 5.
And there's a steal by Avery Johnson. Off to Mullen for 3. Chris Mullen's 3rd three-pointer of the night.
And he has 3 threes. Sprewell has 3. Barkley has 3.
18 points altogether for Mullen.
And Marley leads the league. I don't think he has any.
Barkley isolated on Gatling.
If Charles is
seconds left on the shot clock.
If he's tired, he shoots a fadeaway jump shot. Otherwise, he posts up.
Comes up short. Rebound Jennings.
When he starts holding the ball and shooting fadeaways, he gets tired.
Jennings comes up short. The offensive board by Chris Webber. And we're going to get an offensive, or I should say a loose ball foul call against Chris Webber. That's his second foul.
Barkley's gone the entire first half. He has not come out.
34 points in this first half for Charles Barkley. 27 of them in the first quarter.
You know what you think about? Think about David Robinson getting 71 the other night. But more importantly, how about when Wilt scored 100 points? I mean, Barkley's 16 points behind his pace.
That 100-point game came in Hershey, Pennsylvania. That's when NBA teams used to take their act on the road every once in a while during the year.
When I was in Philadelphia, we used to play a couple games in Hershey. And every time you walked in there, you always got the feeling that you were part of history, being in that locker room where Wilt was and then going out on the floor and playing reset history.
A.C. Green, after making his first 5 free throws, has missed his last 2. And now Golden State in the position to tie it or take the lead with a 3. Webber on Barkley. Illegal D. That's a technical. Second call against Phoenix.
The minute you cross the midpoint, you must go double the basketball. And what happened? Frankie Johnson started to go. He crossed the midpoint there of the where the illegal defense is called, and then he tried to get back to his man. Frankie Johnson, number 3 now. When the ball goes inside, you'll watch him here. Once he starts to go, that's illegal. Now he tries to get back to his guy. Once you start to go, you must continue on into the double team.
Mullen hitting the free throw to make it 70-69. Webber trying to give the Warriors the lead. Rebound Barkley. He got 7 rebounds.
And see, Charles did a nice job. He kept it out about 3 feet further than his range with that little jump hook.
1:15 left in the half. Phoenix up by 1. They're trying to sweep the Warriors. Barkley, 2 more.
You know, I'm surprised that Don Nelson's not double teaming. Barkley's having such a big game.
36 points. Jeff Grayer with 2 on the other side. He's got 6. 72-71 under a minute to go now.
Are you a little surprised they're not double teaming Charles and trying to cool him down a little bit?
This whole series. I think they're just waiting for him to wear himself out, and may not happen.
With rest between games and all, I don't know. I mean, there's no one can guard him here.
He has 38.
Charles looked and he said, no one can guard me, and he's right. They got to get it out of his hands.
Chris Webber with his 10th point, 74-73. The record for most points in a half, 39. Sleepy Floyd with Golden State back in '87. So 1 more basket by Barkley, and he's got a record. Coming up at halftime, our Reebok halftime report. We'll take a breather while Ernie in our Atlanta studios has Philadelphia 76ers head coach Fred Carter. Highlights of the Knicks and Nets. They'll preview the Hawks-Miami matchup. That's all on our Reebok halftime report. A.C. Green trapped in the corner. Got rid of it. Sabalos got a 2-second differential. Shot clock, game clock. Shot clock down to 10. Shot clock at 6. Shot clock at 4. Shot clock at 2. Brian Johnson almost got that deep 3-pointer to go, and a whistle underneath and a foul call against Phoenix.
That's a bad foul on Marley. That'll be in the penalty. So 2 free throws now, very similar to what Jeff Grayer did at the end of the first period. So Golden State, with these 2 free throws, has a chance to go up 75-74 with 1.5 seconds remaining here in this first half.
The most points ever scored in the first half in a playoff game by 2 teams, 150. San Antonio had an 82-68 lead over Denver April 26, 1983. So if Webber makes these 2 free throws, they'll be just 1 point shy of that 150-point half back in '83. But he missed the first one.
41, Mark West returns.
We have 1.5 seconds still left.
Charles is going to get a 2.5 rest here in the first half.
I'll tell you what. 38-point half for Charles Barkley. That's already an individual playoff high for him, the most he'd ever scored in a playoff game before 36.
Oh my goodness.
Never missed them both and was way off the mark with the second one.
Now shouldn't that be a violation if it doesn't hit the rim, if it only hits the backboard?
73 Phoenix.
We have had all sorts of superlative numbers we could put up there for you. 74-73 is our halftime score. The Phoenix Suns trying to sweep this series from Golden State, leading it by 1 at half.